September 1st, 2013. Well, here we do. Started another month of videotaping. I was watching a rockumentary, and it was about a drummer, and it showed his whole kind of lifespan, where he came from, what influenced him, how he picked up the drums, how he pushed and led the way, and was in a couple of really good bands of the late 60s there. Cream, which had Eric Clapton, Stevie Winwood, and after that Traffic is the one that had Stevie Winwood. Cream had Eric Clapton, best known. It was his early first band. But the drummer, when you hear the name Ginger Baker, you don't think of a guy, but his name was Ginger Baker, and a very influential drummer. A lot of the drummers who talked about influence that he gave them, like the Police drummer, I think most recently like the Metallic drummer, the Rush drummer, Neil Peart, some other Rolling Stones guy, Ron Wood, worked with him in those early days. But very interesting how music can envelop somebody's life, and how they can rise and fall and rise and fall and rise again. And he said some of his most memorable moments in life is when he got to play with his peers, once he got to a certain level of acceptance and notoriety, that he got to play with some of his the people that influenced some of the guys that influenced him, which was early jazz and blues. I think a lot of the rock music we have today, even Elvis came from a blues background and kind of crossed that transition and led us into this rock and roll era that we're still living in. When you look at the music's listed as psychedelic rock, which I guess anything from the late 60s would be considered psychedelic. But some of the clips they showed was, they were really definitely tapping into that generation and that age. And even though that Cream was only around for two years, like 2 albums, phenomenal music. Even Traffic. I was going to play a Traffic song, but I decided to play. I want to play a Cream song, because it seems to be. You think of music. As soon as you hear it, you know that's the drummer I'm talking about. But really interesting to see when they do documentaries like that, and people sit down and do a one-on-one, and they can talk about their early days and what influenced them and drove them, and over a period of time come back and visit with them years later, and kind of put it all together, what they're doing now, and even at this day. And that's what's amazing about some of these groups that I grew up with, is that they're still around and start coming out of the woodworks and still playing. And the drive for music is still playing good music. I guess once you have that, as I said, the love for music, you're going to carry it with you into the grave. So to see him still get up there, elderly man that once he got behind those drums, he just lit up like a Christmas tree. The smile that it would put on his face to be able to play the drums and get the recognition from the crowd is a good thing. But Graham Baker, so I'll say Barker, Graham Baker. Not sure if you can see that picture, but He's one of those long-haired. He was definitely a wildly red-headed chap, very temperamental and not easy. Other musicians, and not easy to work with. You know, he was exceptional in what he did. Loved to play with him, but just you couldn't be around him for a certain period of time without leaving the room and letting him go. So interesting documentary, but it's called The White Room in Queen. It's about 1969. And the drummer, Glenn Sept. September 1st, 2013.